big you think that'll be this season to win that possession?
I think it's super important. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You get more opportunities at scoring the ball than your opponent. That's an advantage. So, obviously some coaches been stressing, and it's something that we locked into and that we chart.
Does that fuel the defensive identity that whole difference?
Yeah, it does too, and offensively too. It's a offensive rebound. I know from being on the other side, it's frustrating. And you play good defense for a good 20 seconds, and a shot goes up, and the team gets another possession. So we're stressing it on both sides. Defensive rebound, make sure we hit a man, and offensive rebound, make sure we have a chance of getting it.
Last thing I had was obviously in China, you did a lot of stuff, gave away shoes and everything, being involved in there. How much of a different experience was that for you this time as opposed to when you went over there the first time?
It was totally different. They love basketball over there, so it was our duty to pay the respects that they showed us. We didn't have a lot of downtime or free time, but it was well worth it. I think it's been 6 years since the NBA's been over there, so I think it was important for our league and important for them too.
Look, we've seen you go through the process of having tissue injuries like Jalen has, and now trying to push it too quick. He hasn't missed a game in over 2 years. How did you develop that mindset of working with the training staff and just making sure not to push anything?
Yeah, I mean it's the balance. Everybody's body's different. I think it's kind of just learning your body. So, I've definitely put my 2 cents in, but it's something that you kind of have to push because you eventually got to get back to playing speed, but like he did, you can re-aggravate it too. So it's finding that right balance, and he'll be fine. We don't want it ever to happen, but right now, get it under control before the season kicks off would be good.
With this whole point book thing, what's the elementary differences for you between starting a possession by bringing the ball up and starting a possession coming around a pin down or a curl and then attacking from there?
I'd say bringing the ball up the floor, you kind of have all eyes on you. When you're working a pin down, it's kind of like working the second action. You can catch people off guard. So, but I think the way that we play, if you create advantage early, the ball usually come back to you, and just take what the defense gives you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but under Monty, it really felt like that's when you started to perfect that part of your game, the off-ball part of it at least. I know you grew up idolizing Rip, and it was all that tape too. Would you agree with that sentiment? Around that time is when you started to perfect that?
I think I'm naturally a 2-guard. It could have been watching Rip growing up, but I always took pride in playing off the ball. The play the Pistons used to run back in the day called 2 chess. Was a play that we ran at Kentucky. Cal ran it for me too. So I always respected the position a lot, but once I got to high school, that's kind of where I got the ball in my hand and had to make plays. So I kind of had a balance with it most of my career.
With Grayson and Dylan and guys like that bringing it up, you're going to come around those pin downs and you're going to see two. And I know you have a lot of trust in those guys to just take the possession themselves if you're getting that attention, right?
Yeah, play in the backside. You guys can knock down shots and also make plays. So if teams want to throw junk defenses, I always say the quicker we can make them pay for it, the more opportunities will open the rest of the game.
What do you think about the build-up that Marcus had to get to the point of doing a lot of 5-on-5 and getting ready?
Perfect timing. Obviously we know his history, so we want him ready to play in the games. And I've been watching him play against the coaches. They're doing their part too and pushing them. Because it's hard to emulate a game without playing in it. But I think with our depth at that position and how hard he's been going, he'll be able to cruise right in.
Speaking of depth, what do you think about the way Kaman plays?
Really good. Yeah, just all over. Just overall, the activity, mixed in the 3-ball, talking and communicating, and playing super physical for an 18-year-old.
That thing I had was Russ. I'm taking a long time to land with the team that Kings landed. Were you surprised at how long it took a team to nab him considering his career?
Yeah, I was. I think it's better for the league. I have a lot of respect for Russ. I'm happy, he's found a spot. This happens to be the team we're playing first this year, but I'm definitely happy for him and his family. He deserves it for, the amount of work he's put in for this league.
with what Dwayne was talking about, like shot differential, how much does a player like Rasheer help you guys? It's that big and moves like that and just has a nose for the ball.
Yeah, man. Just last night, you know, you seen a glimpse of it. You know, so many just work harder than you plays, extra possessions, extra efforts. It's stuff you can't teach. You have to want it, and he does.
That's the way the league's going, right? Is guys like his size with his length, they can cover all sorts of positions. Right?
Yeah, I don't think they make many like him, though.
That Kaman was wearing your shoes. Did you give to those?
He had them when I got here in the summer, but I'll get him some more, definitely.
What did that mean to you, though, that you already had them?
Man, it meant a lot. Kaman was wearing them too. I gifted him the all orange pair. Those guys just showing support before I'd even got back in town. So, yeah, I mean, it says a lot. You know, I'm trying to be a mentor and leader for them, and them showing love like that. You know, I think they genuinely love the shoe too, so that's big.
Just trying to follow up everywhere. You might not have seen it on the plane yet, but I heard Oso and Ryan are doing magic tricks. Have you seen this at all?
I know their trick. Yeah. I wouldn't say magic, but I know their trick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's one that you could do, you're saying? There's not much
You
to
need
it.
another person to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to get them to show us, I guess.
They will. They will.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.